My thought of the day is simple. Just trust God. I share this sentiment today because I'm thinking about how this journey has gone for me. So if you haven't been following me, my name is Yan. And I am the most busiest unemployed person ever. I should probably stop saying I'm unemployed because there are very much opportunities coming my way that are, opening up the door and the horizon to everything that I'm working on. This past year alone, I've added new titles such as now I'm acting. Almost Famous actually has a premiere date now, which is February 18th, by the way. And I wrote a book recently, which my book was released back in November. And I have a actual book release date too coming up, which is March 1st. But nevertheless, I've gotten to try many things. I've gotten to do a lot of different things over the course of this journey of unemployment. And a lot of times people ask me like, what are you going to do for work? What's next? And I remember just praying and fasting. And when I was writing my book, I heard God clearly just say, just write the book. And then after I was finished with the book, it was like, just stay the course. Just stay the course. And so almost 6 months now, I've been pushing my content even more. I haven't missed a day of posting. I've been posting every single day. And that's been so much fun to do. So I've fully stepped into content creation. But along this journey, a lot of people were curious as to what was next. And it was hard to explain that I was in this season of just being obedient and just trusting the outcome. I happened to actually be like scrolling through the pages of my book the other day, and I stumbled upon this page where I talked about how I know and I knew that as long as I continue to do my part, God was going to do his part too. And so I'm sharing all of this because this past week I happened to be like, you know what? Maybe I should get a job. And I have nothing against the job. I just think that where I'm at right now with everything that I'm doing, I can't take on a full-time job. My momentum is so crazy right now. There's so many different things right now, but I can always stand to have additional income is my point. So I had been considering that, and I happened to be talking to my sister about it. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do, and she was like, just pray and fast. And I was like, it's crazy because I did. I said, and I kept being told to stay the course. I said, but it's crazy because it's like I'm trusting God, but at the same time, I'm like, it don't make sense. Like I'm coming up at the end of my savings, like things are starting to come to the end, and I do have to start making some other decisions. I kid y'all not, y'all. The very next day, this collab reached out and was like, hey, this opened back up, would you like to apply? And long and behold, I freaking signed the contract for that. And I was like telling my sis about it because I'm like, it's so crazy. Like God is so good. But I was telling her how when that happened, I literally like just started crying about it. And I was just saying like, I just had to trust you, God. I just had to trust you because that's literally what this journey has been. And it does not make sense sometimes, but you literally have to just trust God. And that's one thing that I have been doing a lot of on this journey, even when it did not make sense. And so ended up landing that collab, and I was just so thankful and so grateful. Like it's not something that's like it's going to pay the bills for the rest of the year, but it will pay the bills for the next couple of months. And I'm still very grateful. But was watching a video by Ken the other day, Ken the Millionaire. Y'all follow him if you aren't. But he happened to say something about his prayers, and he said, I just was saying like, God just basically sustain me each month. He was like, but then I started changing my prayers to God, help me thrive. That really like changed the game. It really stuck with me because I was like, you know what? Maybe my prayers have been just, help me get by. And they do need to shift a little bit into God, help me thrive. And I talked a lot about thriving in 2025. And that was one of my biggest goals for you guys. And now we're in 2026. And I've been saying this is the year of whatever it is that God has for me. And so my prayer now, thanks to Ken, is that I continue to thrive in every single month of 2026 as well, but that I'm also getting whatever it is that God has for me. And so trust God, even when it does not make sense, even when you're like, I don't know what's next. I don't know what's coming. Trust God. And that's something that I even talk about in my book, Navigating Life in Uncertainty, is being in those uncertain seasons and not having the answers, but having God by your side. Because with God by your side, you will not fail. And as long as you continue to do your part, you will prevail. So that's my thought of the day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.